That was right after I first got over in Korea. It's like standing in the middle of hell, I guess.
Standing in the middle.
You go down the roads, see your buddies laying there, putting them in body bags. It was awful.
Awful is how James Jimmy Brown sums up the scene of his battlefield heroics some 65 years ago during the war in Korea.
They got out there, and they got hit with mortar shells. Told me and this other boy that we got to get the wounded out. We didn't want to raise up, or they'll cut you in two.
Under orders to rescue fallen troops on a recon mission pinned down by heavy gunfire, Jimmy Brown crawled alongside a fellow soldier under the cover of darkness into a hail of mortar and machine gun fire. A couple of 100 yards into the search, they stumbled across Quentin Seals.
We had to put him on a litter. One got down, crawl, and pull, and then push.
Brown and his fellow rescuer managed to push and pull that badly wounded sergeant on a stretcher at least a few dozen yards to safety, and only then, in the light of camp, did Brown make a startling discovery.
And they turned the light there, and I said, Lord, that's my sergeant.
Face to face with a fellow East Tennessean and the first sergeant Brown met after signing up to serve back in the States. When you saw him, he didn't look good.
No. Didn't look like he'd make it.
The two parted ways, though they followed similar paths after the war. Both settled in East Tennessee and entered the Postal Service, but they'd fallen out of touch, and Quentin Seals, who was also a veteran of World War II, passed away a few years ago. Flash forward 6 decades after their memorable meeting on a battlefield in Korea to this first ever handshake between Mr. Brown and Quentin Seals' son. Newspaperman Jim Claiborne, who snapped this photo, learned the two were living a few miles apart but had never met.
It was almost a surreal, out-of-body experience. We have a boatload of gratitude that we owe people like him.
And on this day, one more first unfolded in the life of this now 84-year-old veteran.
This is my sister, Darlene.
I'm the oldest one.
Oldest.
Seals' daughter, Darlene, savors the moment, holding hands for the first time with the man who saved the life of her dad.
And I'm really honored to get to meet you.
Yeah, I am, you too.
I want him to know how deeply happy I am and how honored I am to meet him.
Seals' son says he wouldn't be alive today if not for Mr. Brown, and his extended family snapped photos and joined in the impromptu tribute to this humble soldier.
And I didn't do it to make a hero or nothing. I'd done it for anybody.
You'd have done it for anybody?
Yes.